everybody, and welcome to another.
Hi, everybody!
And welcome to another edition of the Northern Countdown. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by Benjamin Gates and 50 Shades of Regular.
For fucking sake, I forgot to change my name.
Oh,
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. Saw Jurassic World last night.
Me too.
Like it?
Yep.
Me too. I had so much fun with that movie. If you accept that the movie has finally realized what it is now, which is just a goofy blockbuster series, you're going to love it. Don't go in trying to compare it to the original. That's just a mistake.
Yeah. And that's the mistake I think a lot of people did because I looked it up. A lot of people didn't like it.
A lot of critics didn't like it. A lot of audiences did.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, no, the audience definitely loved it. But yeah, it's unfair to compare it to the original. The original is its own thing. And
so
it's really not them.
It's the closure of a different trilogy. So like it's almost a different franchise now at this point. And I will say it's the best of the three in that trilogy.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. I do agree. It's the best of the three. It's easily the most fun.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you have to have seen the second one to see this new one?
No. Well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It pretty much hinges on the second one.
It hinges on the girl.
Yeah.
All about the girl.
Mainly.
Well, if you know the twist and you know what she does, do you have to see it?
No.
Yes.
If you know, then you don't.
If you know what she is, then yeah. But I mean, did you not see the second one, man?
No.
Why not? I mean, I'm not surprised, but why not?
Why do you think I heard too many shitty stuff about it?
So?
Yeah. So what?
Did you want to see it?
No.
Okay. I was saying if you did, that's all that matters.
I know, but it was like one of those Wonderlight movies, and I was like, if I hear good stuff, I will see it, but if not, I'm not going
Do you
to.
need to see it for the third for Dominion? No. Does it help? Sure.
A lot.
Just watch it. Just watch it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not losing anything by watching it.
Yeah.
Well, I might be losing 2 hours of my life if I don't like the movie.
Oh, come on!
It's coming from the guy who
every day watching TikToks on your toilet.
I'm kidding, Ben. Don't get upset.
Look, you ain't thinking things is a masterpiece. Okay, even I don't believe that, but I have fun in that movie.
Anywho, we're not here. That's mine and 50's review of Jurassic Park Dominion. Go check it out. It's like I said, accept it for what it is. It's just a fun, dumb popcorn blockbuster. It's fantastic. Although I will say, when I saw it, I did see a continuity and editing error that made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, but that's kind of a staple with the Jurassic Park movies.
It is, but this is the first time where where I picked it up right away. I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious."
Okay, tell me after the show.
For sure. It's one of those that's so subtle. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but anyways, yeah. Like I said, we're not here to talk about Jurassic Park Dominion.
Not quite as jarring as the T-Rex paddock in the first one.
No. But anyway.
I do have one question.
Of course.
This Bryce Dallas Howard, you see that have those boots on?
Of course not.
You never know.
Why is that such an issue for people? I never got that. Well, why is that such a problem?
All right, guys.
That's what people fixate on.
Yeah,
but anyways, that's all we're
why
here.
do you think that just ruins the whole movie to everybody? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Me neither. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the top 5 TV characters that joined a series partway through. Now, Ben, this was your list. Explain why.
Because I was watching I was watching Beverly Hills 90210 halfway through, and
Why?
there was a good show.
Okay. Please continue.
Why do you have a problem with that?
Please continue.
You're being judgy.
Anyway, I realized you have great characters in any show that come in halfway through, or before halfway, or after halfway. And I thought it would be fun to talk about them.
Yeah,
Any,
there's some definite good ones. I pulled a Ben and technically did a cheat for one of them, but you'll understand why more than anyone.
I pulled a Ben a cheat for 2.
Oh, Ben the trendsetter.
But one of them is a bit of a gray area that I'm not really quite sure.
Oh,
well, did you end up doing what we talked about?
Yes, I did.
of course he did.
Did you expect anything?
No, it is clarifying. So, how do you guys want to work this? Who wants to go
As
first?
usual, your list, you start.
Okay. So I'll go my number 5. I don't know how many people watch that show, but it's Paige Matthews on Charmed.
Nope.
She came in pretty much almost halfway through when Shannon already left the show. And she came on as a new sister, like never been discovered since. And didn't really sing the show. And because she came on and lasted 5 more seasons?
She lasted to the end of the series, didn't she?
Yeah. Played by Rose McGowan, who might be, her character might be more interesting than she is, but yeah, that's my number 5.
I can't speak to it because I've never seen it.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good show.
I've always heard.
It's a good show. Pippin, you haven't anything?
Again, I'd never seen the show, so
Okay.
yeah. So I don't have.
Alright.
So then my number 5 is Andy
Yeah.
from The Office.
What?
Andy from The Office.
Oh, well, fuck.
So the reason why he's this low on the list is because of what they did with him in the final season. They kind of try to make him into be that, that hard ass boss, which never really suited Andy's character ever. But before that, one of my favorite moments is in the episode where they go to the beach for that bonding thing, and Andy somehow gets stuck in the river with the sumo suit, and like at the end of the episode, you still see him floating down the river. Like this was Ed Helms' breakout role. It's obvious why. He just brought something. He brought something new to The Office, and well, basically any of those new additions, but especially him. And I don't know. It's one of those they made the show better. It was good before, but his addition made it better.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree. He's an incredible comedic character. I love this back and forth with Dwight and Angela. He adds a whole lot to the show.
Agreed. It's like I said, the last season they kind of tried to bring him back to being a hard ass, and it's like no.
Well, I think what they did, they tried to make him Michael Scott 2.0.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. You just should have left him as Andy.
Right. But, yeah.
Any thoughts, 50?
Yeah, so I don't know if either of you heard what I just said earlier, but you said Andy, and for some reason my brain, because it's you, my brain immediately jumped to Chris Pratt's character from Parks and Rec, which I believe was also named Andy.
He was, but he was there episode 1.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, speaking of Jurassic World, and then it was like, we kept talking about him, and like, wait a minute, something doesn't add up, but yeah, that's my little blunder, that's why I kept silent while you were talking about it.
It's all good. It's all good. All good. What's your number 5, 50?
My number 5, John Constantine Love
Ooh, good one.
Nice.
on
Good one.
Legends of Tomorrow. Now, he did have his own series, like I said, Gray Area. He did have his own series, but he then made regular appearances on Arrow and Legends, but then just straight up became a full-time cast member, and I just love it. I love him as Constantine. I'm one of the few people that actually loves his Constantine show, and I'm sad that he canceled it. And then like we were all desperate to see him again, and then look what happened. He came back in full force, and pretty much that season of Legends when they add him on full time.
Oh, it's
pretty much wrong with him. What?
It was a good season.
Yeah, it was a really good season with, and I love that they sort of tried to continue the storyline that they left off in the Constantine series. Not the main one, but the sort of side story with Astra. And I like Astra on the show too. But yeah, Constantine, I think, is the best addition to that cast.
I've seen his first season, with Legends, and that's it. And I do agree. It definitely was a great addition.
Let me ask you, 50. Did you see his new character when Constantine left while they kept the actor?
Constantine. Wait, new character where?
Legends of Tomorrow.
I'm gonna be
Okay. Okay, so
I watching that show at one point, but
okay, I'll tell you later.
okay.
Alrighty, so Ben, you're number 4.
Okay, my number 4. Mike, Mike gets presented by you, Matt, but Tori from Saved by the Bell.
Nope, not even on the list.
He was a fun character that came halfway through the final season, maybe 5 or 6 episodes. He didn't want a little more life to the show. He was that spunky character that was that had edge. That as much edge as one could have in Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I did think of her, but at the end of the day, like, it was just a character that wasn't brought in to enhance the story. It was brought in because Kelly and Jesse couldn't come back. So, I mean...
I know, but I like that character.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's why she's on your list. It's just for me, it's just like, Tori never made that much of an impact on me.
I think they called her out in the reboot.
Which is true.
Yep.
Which is true. Okay, so my number 4 then?
Yes.
Already? It is Castiel from Supernatural. Season 4. When Castiel joined, that series completely took a sharp left turn into the realm of of heaven and hell. And Castiel is one of the best additions to a TV show. Because he's an angel who doesn't understand the concept of being human, some of the moments that he is put in is hilarious. There is an episode where he's trying to be one of the guys, so Dean takes him to a strip club. No, not to a strip club, to a whorehouse. I recommend watching that just to see how an angel interacts with that type of profession. It's pretty damn funny watching Misha Collins play this clueless angel. It's awesome. Like Castiel plays it all very straight, but he's very funny.
Yeah, I never got into that show. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes. I liked it, but I never got into it.
I fell off because it was just going on and on and on.
Right.
You can only do the same thing over and over again. So many times.
Well, what's the problem with shows that have long seasons?
Nothing. Because
What's the problem with shows that go on for on and on and on?
Nothing.
Where's
Doctor Who changes it up whenever a new Doctor comes on, whereas Supernatural didn't.
And that's why Doctor Who is the greatest show ever made.
In 50's opinion.
No, and you know, history's opinion.
Okay. Anywho.
It's still on, you know. Tells you something.
All right, 50. It's number 4.
Number 4, a potential punt there. Captain Hook on Once Upon a Time.
Mm-hmm. Is an honorable mention for me.
Okay, so yeah, Captain Hook, I think, really does embody the points of the topic. He was a regular character. He made sporadic appearances throughout season 2. He was originally a villain.
I remember that.
What?
I remember that because I was actually watching at that time when he first showed up.
Yeah, he started out as a villain, had a sort of a in-between type in season 3, most of season 3, and then just straight up became one of the main lead heroes from the later half of season 3 onwards, to the point where we even had 2 Captain Hooks in the show.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, can you remember what the name of the Dominic something? What's the name of the actor?
Colin
O'Donoghue. Colin O'Donoghue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't know how I got Dominic from, but yeah, he's really solid. To further your point, Soda, a clueless angel. Yeah, he's a pirate. He lived in Neverland for who knows how long, and then they suddenly dropped him in the modern world, so he doesn't understand phones. He doesn't understand regular customs. I mean, there's a scene where he gets thrown out of a prison cell, and he's like, "They force-fed me something called bologna."
Yeah, I love that. I love it. I loved it whenever he got pissed off at modern tech.
Yeah, and he's like, "What's the point of teaching me how to use the phone if you don't answer it?"
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I will defend the story arc where they kind of made him the dark one, sort of, because it gave us the Underbrook storyline, which was a much needed improvement over the Dark Swan story. But yeah, it was a cool character. He's just the essence of cool, from the character design to his mannerisms. And I think he had the best song in that musical episode that he did.
Oh, nice.
Let me ask you something, Tiffany, because I fully believe this. I wonder if you believe it too. Do you think if Hook never came, do you think Emma would have ended up with Neil?
I think if Neil hadn't died, she would have ended up with Neil.
Well, I think Neil died because they had nothing left to do with him.
No, I mean, that's the way I take it. I feel like Emma and Neil still had something together, and the fact that he died to save his father, yeah, that kind of threw a wrench into the machine. But then after he died, the showrunners kind of took the show in the direction of, well, let's have Emma and Hook together.
Can I just say Neil's death was one of the most beautiful scenes in that show?
Yeah. And it's one of the most tragic deaths in that franchise, in that show, and that's saying something.
Yep.
So,
Forgive me, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Neil, isn't that Rumpelstiltskin's kid?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
but
Dude,
yeah.
Did you say spoilers?
You cannot talk about that show without spoiling something.
Yeah, it's also been over a decade.
So what? People haven't seen that show. Some people haven't seen that show yet.
Yeah, but there's an unofficial spoiler ban lift, and it's usually around the decade mark.
Yeah. What's your number 3, Brand?
My number 3.
My number 3.
My number 3.
Is your name Ben Soda?
Shut up, and go.
Aha, got you back.
Now this might get punted. I'm fully aware of that. Not the Fraser Crane.
Nope.
Really?
Thought
Wow.
about it, but then I remember that I've only seen 3 seasons of Frasier, and I still haven't finished Cheers.
Okay, fair point, fair point. Talk about a character that came on the show and really made a character his own.
Right.
Kelsey Grammer came on New Cheers as a minor supporting character.
So he came on as Diane's therapist, who he ended up getting engaged to. And that was originally all he was brought in on, but the cast liked him so much that he was given a much longer role that pretty much turned into like 20 odd years of work.
Yep. And he nailed it. He killed it out of the park.
100%. Him and, again, only speaking of my experience with Cheers, it's been three seasons of Frasier, and it's been a long time. But when they introduced Lilith, and then they brought in that dynamic that Lilith and him have in Cheers, 2 weird peas in a pod are those two. But yeah, Frasier trying to be intellectual, trying to bring himself to the level of his friends is pretty damn funny to watch.
Dude, if you think that's good, watch Frasier. His dynamic with Niall is some of the best back and forth you would see on TV.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Niall's brother, right?
Yep.
Niall's brother, yeah. So much so that they cast him as Sideshow Bob's brother in The Simpsons.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's some, if you watch that The Simpsons episode, they're all plenty of Frasier Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just close your eyes and imagine it's another episode of Frasier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lost episode of Frasier.
Yeah. All right, so now you're number 3.
It's somebody who's actually come and become one of everyone's favorite characters on the show. It's Butters from South Park.
Huh.
Butters was basically brought in as almost like a replacement for Kenny, and then he just ended up becoming such a hit that some of the more memorable moments since involve Butters, like the episode where they all get ninja weapons and they accidentally hit Butters in the face with a ninja star and disguise him as a dog and bring him to the vet. Or when Cartman wants to go to Casa Bonita, he convinces Butters that there is an apocalypse coming down and he locks him in a fridge in a dump. Or Osimo, where Butters is going to visit his family in Los Angeles, and Cartman, who he knows Butters has something on him, pretends to be a robot and travels with him, fully in guise as a robot, to the point where he has to eat toothpaste for sustenance. Basically, anything that Butters is involved with is freaking hilarious, and go and watch the post-pandemic stuff and see what happens to Butters as an adult. The guy, was it an NFT? No, Bitcoin.
No, NFT.
Yeah, an NFT salesman, like an obnoxious NFT salesman. It is so funny. What is he called? Mr. Chaos? Victor Chaos?
Yeah.
Chaos. Yeah. No, Butters was a breath of fresh air to South Park, and he's easily one of my top 3 favorite characters. Which Cartman, Randy, Butters.
100%. You can't go wrong with any of those 3.
Yeah, like, I mean, even I have it up there, but they've even released a DVD set of just the best Butters episodes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and it came with some little like cool merchandise. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's my number 4. It's Butters Stotch, because my God, you cannot see that character and not have a good time.
Yep.
You've never seen South Park, right, 50?
I told you this several times. I tried. I did. I watched a lot of episodes and I never.
Which I totally
get. But I do know what you're saying about Butters. I mean, he really was the punching bag for the main group of the kids.
Agreed. He's
a punching bag.
Cartman's assistant.
Yeah, but he's a fan favorite because of the underdog. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. He was the underdog favorite.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even his parents shit on him.
Yep.
I'll just never forget his very first episode that dedicated to him when he finds out his dad likes to go to pet Turkish bathhouses. Like, oh my god! And then his mom gets upset and tries to kill him. It's like, what the hell?
One of the episodes I remember is the one that. Long story short, Kenny tries to ruin the school photos by flipping the thing he's wearing, and he sort of has his butt as the picture. Everyone thinks that that he's the one who ruined all the pictures, but then it ended up being Butters, just being Butters, who has the worst picture in the school yearbook, and his parents just lock him up in his room with a paper bag over his head until he stops making that stupid face.
Yep.
But he can't stop making a stupid face because that's his face.
Yep. Yeah, and there's an even crazier one from this season. And it's the St. Patrick's Day episode because it's a tradition to pinch somebody if they're not wearing green on St. Patrick's Day. Well, he pinches somebody and gets sued for sexual harassment and gets thrown into jail. Oh, it's pretty damn wild.
Poor Butters.
Yeah, poor Butters.
All right, Riffy, my friend, my man. What's your number 3?
Okay, this is the one I mentioned earlier, kind of a gray area, because it's sort of part of a bigger franchise that character was already a part of, but it's Darth Maul from Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, count?
Yeah, I'd count because it was a reintroduction of the character.
Yeah, so Darth Maul came in, I think it was season 4 or 5, after being hinted at with Savage Opress, obviously. And I think when they ended the season where they previewed him, they used actual live-action shots from of Darth Maul from the movie, and then they revealed him in the follow-up season as a fully CGI character. First of all, great redemption for a character that had so much potential, and for lack of a better word, cut short. During his appearance in the first prequel movie.
But said, lack
of a better word. What can I say?
Nope, but it worked. It very much worked. For some reason, the Clone Wars is the blind spot for me. I've only seen him in Rebels. And if it's anything like that, I would be surprised if he was good in Clone Wars because of the Rebel stuff, especially.
Let me just say this. Just imagine the Darth Maul you know from Rebels.
Yeah.
Younger and more agile and in more episodes.
Nice.
And he is vicious.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of the fights he has with Obi-Wan in that show, where he grabs him by the throat and he says he's not going to kill him. He's going to make sure he's alive long enough to feel every single cut, and that his death will be beyond excruciating. I can't remember the exact word of what he says, but yeah, him and Savage kill Adi Gallia, which is the explanation as to why she was replaced in the Jedi Council in the movie. I like when Star Wars does stuff like that, but yeah, and he takes over Mandalore. He has a duel with Pre Vizsla, which I don't know if you know this, by the way, but Pre Vizsla's name is actually a joke. It's a play on the word pre-visual effect. Yeah, it's a thing. So, he has a duel with Pre Vizsla where Maul is using his red lightsaber and Pre Vizsla is using the dark saber. And then he wins, and then he slices his head off in a kid's show of all things. And then there's he murders Obi-Wan's girlfriend, Duchess Satine.
Yep.
And then he has a duel then him and Savage Opress have a duel with Palpatine, and Palpatine's got 2 lightsabers, and he's wiping the floor with these 2 Zabrak warriors, these 2 Knight brothers. And then at one point, after he kills Savage Opress, spoilers again because it's been over a decade, then Darth Maul really gets into it. He pulls out the dark saber and he fights Palpatine with a red lightsaber and the dark saber.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And he also gets his ass kicked by Palpatine. And sadly, the story doesn't go on in the TV show because the show was canceled. They continued some of his story in comics. And then they brought the show back where he where he fights Ahsoka. And yeah, also, I mean, we can't talk about Darth Maul without mentioning the way he died in Rebels in the Twin Suns episode. One of the best duels in Star Wars ever, and it only lasts for like 3 seconds.
It's one of my favorite episodes of Rebels.
Let me ask you guys a question. I had this debate with my brother, not really debate, but conversation. Do you think having the Obi-Wan show out right now, do you think Filoni, the Mets, making that Obi-Wan Darth Maul confrontation animation and not saving it for live action?
No, because it's still one of the better moments of Star Wars. And it also came at a time where Star Wars wasn't a happy place to be in. So the fact that we got that nugget of gold in the Last Jedi Fallout, during the Last Jedi Fallout, was such Rebels was such a breath of fresh air, to coin a phrase from Soda earlier.
Yeah, and I mean, like, because we already had all that stuff in Clone Wars, it just, I don't know, for me, it just makes more sense for Vader to be the big bad in Kenobi, because it's dealing with the PTSD of Sith and all that stuff. You've already got all that out of the way with Maul, so it wouldn't have added anything to a live action version.
I did talk about it with my brother, so I thought I would ask you guys, okay? All right.
So now it's Ben.
Yep. My number 2, Ben Linus from the show Lost. Now, I know I'm talking to 2 people who have never seen an episode of Lost, so I'm going to make this as spoiler-free as much as I can. Let's say with Ben Fish and Pierce, he's not really what you would think, but he ends up being an incredible character and an incredible villain. He's played by Michael Emerson, who showed up on Arrow in one season 50, and Sona.
No, I know who Michael Iverson is. I know who Michael Iverson is because he's also in Ray Donovan, I think, and he's done some voice acting stuff DC wise.
Who did he play again? I'm trying to fix the name to the character.
Fuck, he's that cybernetic hacker that they're fucking chasing.
Person of interest. Person of interest. Yeah, right. In Arrow.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I forget the character's name.
Well, never mind.
Hayden James.
Hayden James.
Yep.
Hate that guy.
And the Joker in Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Anyway, Ben is an incredible character, and he adds so much to the show when he's brought in. Spoiler alert, he's not the only Colossian character on my list. Just saying.
And also his name is Ben, so that explains why he's on your list.
Right. Exactly 50. Exactly 50. So now, what's your number 2?
So this is my cheat. When these 2 characters showed up, the show became the show. Ben Wyatt, Chris Traeger from Parks and Rec. Don't get me wrong, the first season, it is what it is. Second season, it's not bad. But once these 2 joined the cast and became 2 pivotal characters, the 2 love interests for the 2 best friends, the show became the show. It just went from here to here.
Shut up.
It shot up. Easily 2 of the best character additions ever in a TV series, in my opinion.
I'll be honest. I thought this was going to be your number 1.
Yeah, but wait till you see my number 1.
Okay. All right.
Let's just say I've liked that character a lot longer. But no, Ben and Chris, like Ben, ends up marrying Leslie, get things like the Cones of Dunshire, the Calzones. Ben being the straight man, still not understanding what the big deal is about little Sebastian. And then of course you got Chris, who's easily the most positive, literally the most positive person you'll ever meet. Yeah, I can't say enough of these. It was a sad day when Chris and Ann left the show, but I get it. But yeah, when him and Ben showed up, it made a good show great.
Thinking back to my number 4, you could make an argument that once Captain Hook showed up on Once Upon a Time, the show became the show that it was.
He's one character that I've always heard was one of the better characters on that show, like better additions. And I remember I've only seen the first season with him, so
You really should go back and do a rewatch.
There's a lot of shows that are like that that I have. Like that.
Obviously, you still haven't finished Frasier and Cheers.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know what to do with those toast salads and scrambled eggs.
Nice, which was actually funny.
Again.
The name of a podcast Kevin Smith had for a little while with Matt Mirror, where they broke down 2 episodes of Frasier at a time. This is going back years ago.
Nice.
It was literally called toast salad and scrambled eggs.
It was tossed salad and scrambled eggs is the line for the song, and yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, they didn't do that many, unfortunately, but it was a good podcast while it lasted.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, 50, my man. Want to hear number 2?
Charizard from the Pokemon anime.
Wait, really? Oh yeah, I guess because he's an evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, when he's introduced as a Charmander, it's such a great episode, just a great tragic story. So much so that they did it again twice on the show with varying degrees of success. But then I think, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I mean, people can hate on me all they like, but in my opinion, Ash's Charizard has the best character arc in all of Pokemon, the anime. And yes, that includes the cheap knockoff Infernape. I said it, yeah. And I love Infernape. Don't get me wrong. I love Infernape. But the thing is, he basically had the exact same character arc, for the most part, a very similar character arc as Charizard. To what Charizard did in one episode, they stretched it over 4 seasons with Infernape. Charizard, on the other hand, yeah, he starts out incredibly loyal because Ash saves his life, actually. And then he rebels against the trainer who dumped him, joins Ash, and then he has this whole emo phase where he evolves into a Charmeleon and just goes completely off the rails, and he just starts burning Ash's face, which, should be dead 10 times over, but whatever. Then things get worse when he evolves into a Charizard and completely becomes disobedient to Ash, that doesn't obey a single thing, and he has to have a near-death experience, literally, when he's frozen half to death, and Ash stays up all night trying to keep him warm so he doesn't die, and then he starts to trust him. And after that, he becomes one of the biggest powerhouses on Ash's team. Now, of course, you could argue that he doesn't have the highest win-loss ratio. Remember, a lot of that was mainly because he chose not to fight. And Ash lost his first championship because Charizard just gave up and decided not to fight. But he has his redemption in the Johto League, where he straight up destroys Gary, the biggest rival that Ash had at the time. And I think the fight that he has with Anderson's Blaziken is one of the best fights in Pokemon. Clearly, Infernape's battle against Paul, also a legendary battle to say the least. But Charizard was just such a good character and so popular, arguably the most overrated Pokemon ever. But they brought him back during the later half of the Black and White series, and they gave up, and they had to bench one of the least interesting Pokemon in Ash's roster, Amphasit. just to bring Charizard back into the fold. He already had a fire type on his team. So yeah, Charizard is my favorite Pokemon of all time. My favorite of Ash's Pokemon, and in my opinion, the best Pokemon character on that show. Sue me. And again, I love Infernape, I love Greninja, just, Charizard is the best.
Let me
Can't add anything. I've seen a couple episodes of the show.
Me neither. Well, let me ask you something, 50. Is also your favorite of the 3 starting Pokemon?
Dude, I literally just said it's my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Oh.
Of all 900 plus. He's my favorite.
Sorry, say that again, 900 plus?
Yeah, I mean, there's a new game coming out in November where mathematically they will be crossing 1,000 by the end of the year.
That's a lot of Pocket Monsters.
Yep, a lot of Pokemon. Yeah, and that's including regional forms and evolutions and whatnot.
Oh wow!
Right. Wow,
that's crazy. All right, it's honorable mention time.
Yep.
Honorable mention time. All right, Ben, go first.
Hook from Once, Gus from Breaking Bad, Soul from Breaking Bad, Jefferson from Married with Children, Zelina from Once Upon a Time,
Ooh, that's a good one.
and Holof and Ellis from AMC Movie Talk.
Ah,
Nice. That's true. It's true.
I mean, come on. Oh, and the big man, Snap from AMC Movie Talk.
Of course.
Yeah. Come on, without those 3 on AMC Movie Talk, I don't think we would all be here right now.
No, it's true.
no, I agree. Yeah.
AMC Movie Talk, the show that launched a community, pretty much. That helped launch a community.
Right. And friendship.
Yeah, good old days.
Yeah. All right, so the honorable
All right.
mention time.
Game of Thrones, Tormund Giantsbane, because god damn him lusting after Brianna Tarth is hilarious. Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito's character. Oh my god, that guy's got issues. And then Heidi.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
That show could be hard to watch if you're binging, but man, it can be funny. And of course, Heidi from Home Improvement.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she counts.
And 3.
What? Yeah.
3, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So
Disney.
before we get to my honorable mentions, do you want to talk about the other list I made?
Yes. Why don't you do that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so my
Word. Quick. I got to work in half an hour.
my other list is basically just 5 characters just from Doctor Who. So I have Captain Jack, River Song, James Robert McCrimmon, the Brigadier, and Sarah Jane Smith. And an honorable mention goes to P9.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
Now do you have honorable mentions as pertaining to this list?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Lionel Luthor on Smallville.
Ooh.
Well, he was in the first episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was a regular. He wasn't. No, he was. Sorry, he didn't. He wasn't a regular. He made regular sporadic appearances.
Okay.
Season 1.
Okay, that's
He
fair.
wasn't in regular.
If him got an honorable mention. If it was, yeah.
So yeah, Lionel Luthor, Ella from Lucifer, Anga from The Lion Guard, and Brett Sheridan.
Another great one.
Cindy, I had to show you a video clip that came from the big thing this week. You will piss your pants. It's so funny.
Okay. Send it on over.
I will.
Alrighty, number one time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. One of my inventions, Pepe the Prawn from the Muppets.
I would have gone Rizzle the Rat personally, but I love Pepe as well.
I just prefer Pepe. Okay.
I follow Pepe on Twitter. The Muppets don't tweet much, but when they do, they're pretty damn funny.
My number one is Desmond Hume. Now again, I know I'm not talking to Lost fans here, so I will say that he came on in season 2 as a mysterious character with a really interesting backstory. He has a certain set of skills that make him really interesting.
Was he played by Liam Neeson?
It makes it
No.
nice for people like me.
But he's played by, what's that guy's name? Henry
Jones Jr.
No, Henry Cusack.
I'm looking at what's the character's name?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Well, I'm on the IMDb page. What's the character? Desmond
Yeah.
Hume? Henry
Yeah.
Ian Cusick.
Yeah. He's
Henry-
one of our... What?
Ian, I said Ian. It's Henry Ian Cusick.
Yeah. He's one of those actors, if you see him, you would know him. He pops up in basically science fiction shows. Yeah, and it is a really interesting character. He added a whole nother level to the show Lost when he came on. He's my favorite character on the show, so yeah.
Right on.
I know, you guys got to watch Lost. What can I say? You guys have to watch it.
Do it.
I will eventually. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I have to watch. So
And you have to make that a priority because I'm going to be able to talk about it with you guys.
eventually.
I'm just at a loss for words at the moment.
But it's calling Dr. Rim shot.
Shoot from the rim. Soda, what is your number one?
This is one that I know we've all seen this show. Originally this character was brought on in a way that hadn't been canon before, as the cousin of one of the major characters. Season 4 of Smallville, my all-time favorite crush, Lois Lane from Smallville.
Motherfucker.
You take out Clark, she's my favorite character. I have been in love with Erica Durance as Lois Lane since 2005, since my senior year of high school. Easily one of the great, if not the greatest addition, in my humble opinion, to a TV show, because once she joined, it opened up a whole new world of stories. It was basically from Smallville to Metropolis. And to see her finally in the final season, see her and Clark and their journey to get to the Isle, to see the love that they have. Hell, one of my favorite scenes between them is when they're both on either side of the door and they're telling each other what they mean to each other.
Oh.
Love that scene. That was in the final episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. Erica Durance, fellow Canadian, her version of Lois Lane is still my favorite Lois Lane, even though Bitsy Tulloch from Superman and Lois really does give her a run for her money. Lois Lane from Smallville will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's a great number one, man. I love her.
Yeah. She's the best.
Yeah. And I love the episode where Clark accidentally gets thrown into the future and he realizes that not only does Lois know he's Superman, but she's also really okay with it.
Yeah.
And they actually can work together. They actually can have a functioning marriage under these such conditions.
That's the 200th episode, which I can tell you where the high school is because it's not too far from where I used to work. But yeah, Vancouver, man. They filmed in Vancouver. But no, that is a great moment because at the end of that episode, he finally opens up to her and says, "I am the Blur."
No, he didn't say it in that episode.
Oh, it's the next one.
It.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The next episode, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. What a great character. I love her evolution of the show.
Oh yeah.
They really took their time, and I really appreciated this. They really took their time putting them together. And then
obviously we all know the relationship that Clark Kent and Lois Lane have. So the fact that they took it in the unconventional direction of just having them be sort of at odds with each other, not have the greatest first impression. Literally, she saw him naked the first time they met.
Yeah.
And they had this very turbulent relationship for the first few seasons, and then they slowly built it up to she's the love of his life.
Yeah, you see it slowly. You see it hinted at here and there that there is an attraction between them, but it's not really until season 8.
Yeah, it's as opposed.
Lana is gone from the show completely.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, as opposed to him being completely infatuated with Lana from day one, from episode 1, essentially.
Yeah. No, Eric.
Yeah, I mean,
all of my good memories of the show come from season 4 on. She's a big part of that.
I wonder. I've been thinking of doing a rewatch of Smallville. Do you think I could start from season 4 on?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know.
You'd be skipping the worst season. That's for sure.
What season? Not the worst season to you? Really? Wow.
What was the season where Lana's a witch?
4.
Not 4.
Oh yeah. So yeah. No.
Yeah, that's a weird season. Really weird season.
Really, that the same season we introduced Lois Lane is the same season where Lana's a witch,
and it's also the same season where we're introduced to Jason Teague.
Yeah, for that one season alone.
For that one season, because he got supernatural and they had to kill him off.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did because I hated his character.
He started off all right, and then once I realized he turns out he was
I mean, they ran into the same problem they did with Pete and Jimmy. They ran out of things for him to do.
Yeah.
There's only so much that character could have done.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he always was. Started off as like a knockoff of Lana's original boyfriend from the first season.
Whitney,
yeah. What's his face? And then he was like, he spent half the season completely against his mother. And then I don't know what kind of magic dust happened, but he was completely on her side to the point where he defended her honor to his death. Literally to his death.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's weird, but it's just one of those they had to do something.
But thankfully, it, like you said earlier, it shot up as soon as the next season came and Brainiac hit the scene.
Oh yeah, played by the great James Marsden.
All
right, 50. You're number 1.
Me on this show.
Yes, I love it.
If Ben can do that, then so can I.
That's fucking great. I love it.
Awesome.
What else would you expect my number 1 to be?
I don't know. Something from Timon and Pumbaa, Lion Guard. I don't know.
I already mentioned Onga, and she's not a favorite character, but she qualifies for the list. Speaking of the Lion Guard, remember that's how I came on in the show originally. You brought me here. I specifically asked because we were still doing movie news shows back in the day, if you can believe that. But I specifically asked to talk about the Mufasa movie that was announced that they still didn't say about ever since. And then I introduced you to the concept of the Lion Guard, and I told you there's so much backstory with Scar. That he was part of the Lion Guard, and he betrayed all the lions, and that's why he was so resentful towards Mufasa. And for some reason, I don't know, just like my rambling so much that you decided to invite me again for that other episode where you would debut Soul, and you had as a guest. And then after that, you were like, if you want to come on, come on. And I just kept coming on and off again, and I just became a regular on the show. And now it's the highlight of my week.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
No, that's great. Yeah, it's interesting to think back on the evolution of the show from the early days of Get Sweaty to where we are now. It really is.
We were on a completely different channel back then.
We were.
Yeah.
Different
and even
channel.
the channel we moved on to had a name change.
Yeah.
Hey.
And to the point where I even got my own spin-off show.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. At least something good came out of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I put also as number one of you back. Because I can't imagine my life without you guys now.
Yeah, me neither.
You complete me.
Aww. No, I'm kidding. All right. So that brings
we did each other's guests.
This is a line from fucking Rocky.
Oh.
I know, that's why I said it, smart ass.
Anywho, next is my choice next week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basing it off of this.
Of course you are.
Favorite
Top 5
dinosaur.
favorite movie posters.
Oh. Ooh.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Top 5 favorite movie posters.
I see you. I see you. I hear you. I hear you.
All right.
So, yeah.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at my Twitter, pen_radio. You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Multiverse of Kingdom. Every Monday on Dissecting the Schmodown. Every Wednesday on Jedi Academy. Every Friday on the Weekly Kingdom. Every Saturday night on Kingdom Uncut. You can find me right here on the Northern Entertainment Group. Every Tuesday I'll be writing at tape, and every Saturday morning right here on the Northern Countdown. The Northern Countdown!
All right, 50. What about you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, 57 Geeks. Speaking of Jurassic World, I just did a full rewatch of all 5 existing Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movies in one day. Right before I went to see the newest Jurassic World Dominion. You can check out my review on that. You can also have, I also have regular reviews of Obi-Wan episodes. I decided to table the conversation of reviewing Stranger Things for now because I kind of went for. I'm waiting for the last 2 episodes to come out in a couple of months. But you can also find me on this show, Northern Countdown, every Saturday. And on my own aforementioned spin-off show, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, every Monday, I just did a show where I talked about all the roles that the Doctor actors have had before and after the show in the classic era. Now we're moving on to the more modern actors, the roles that they took on before and after becoming the Doctor, so it should be pretty interesting.
Right on.
Hey.
And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_Saxman. You can also find me on the shows that these 2 gentlemen have mentioned on this channel, as well as the Square Slice on Wednesdays, which is the wrestling show over here in the Northern Entertainment Group. And then later today over on the Dropkicks, which is the wrestling show over on the Let's Get Ready Network. So thank you very much for joining us. And on behalf of myself, Ben, and 50, thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know what some of your favorite characters who were introduced later in a TV show are in the comments. And we will see you next week on the Northern